Hello everybody, welcome to Cape Rugby TV Wednesday night, and we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. For those of you that have just joined us, yes, every Wednesday at 9 p.m. we talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Many clubs in Cape Town, just over 110, 15,000 players still active. Yes, I know there's water restrictions, people are saying they're not playing rugby, but the clubs are still finding ways to be active. And, you know, we've started that players grid, the grid that the clubs are choosing their activities from. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. Before we get going, though, and before I tell you what's coming up tonight, let me just say a big thanks to Hisense on board with Cape Rugby TV as our official technical partner. Score energy drinks. Well, if you haven't got your can of Score yet, you can win yourself a case a little bit later during the course of the show. Dulux Maitland, you can see them right behind me at Dulux Maitland at number 30 Coburg Road. And of course, Save SA Sport, your coupon codes available to you a little bit later, savesasport.com. And of course, Colortone, your timber treatment specialist. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. Lyndon Julius is with us this evening, looking a little bit frail. Welcome back, Lyndon.
Thank you. Good evening, JP. Good evening, all the viewers. Yeah, it's been hectic couple of few days.
I'm going to explain that in a second. Welcome back to Faisal Felton. Nice to have you back, Fali.
Good evening, Japes. Good to be back.
I see you're wearing your Hubs program.
Yeah, proudly. Hubs. Help us build success. Help us build society.
There you go. Quite not, you can make a whole mix of it. Eh?
There you go.
In fact, we've got some footage from of some of the kids at the Hubs. I know you guys had some school activities at City Park over the weekend. So rugby is still continuing in some shape or form.
No, definitely. I think the guys are finding ways and means to get out there and to keep training and that, and to keep the guys busy and that. So, yeah.
We're definitely going to talk a lot about the Hubs program tonight, folks. Big thing, of course, is I'm going to give away during the course of the show 10 sets of double tickets, all right? 10 sets of double tickets. You just need to get your mobile phone handy and SMS the word DHL Stormers to 33090. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. But coming up on the show tonight, Durban up against Kailsriver. It was an in Cape Town game. We'll be speaking to the coaches and captains from those teams. Carlisle Castle is, of course, the captain of Kailsriver. Gerard Matrou is the coach of Kailsriver. Carl Liebenberg from Durban, and Johan Kotze is coaching at Durban as well. And then last week we promised you the highlights of the match between Brackenfell and Evergreens. They played in George. That comes up, and as I promised, some highlights from the Hubs program coming up during the course of the show. But it was rugby action time. It, folks, was an enjoyable, fun game. Opportunity for two clubs just to get together and have a bit of a run. We're not reading too much into this. It was real just about the clubs having a bit of activity for the players. Durban up against Kailsriver. Let's take a look at the first half. There we go, folks. The clubs, as you can see, still making plans to stay active as much as they can. That match, of course, Kuilsrivier against Durban. And Durban, of course, approached the local school to play that game there. As you know, there's an embargo on rugby at the moment. We'll have to wait until a little bit later in the season to see what changes there at the moment. Our next current deadline, I think, Faisal, if I'm right, 1st of June is kind of the foreseeable future, but no guarantees at the moment, and clubs at the moment, it's left up their own devices to make plans.
Yeah, the 1st of June is basically the start of the season. Obviously, you've got friendlies and stuff that you also need to consider. So I think we'll probably be meeting the clubs roundabout in April, just to see exactly where we are. We are monitoring the situation on a week-for-week basis, together with the city in terms of the field, maintenance, looking at fields as well.
So I see, a lot of the clubs are still coming up with their own plans. Clubs are still doing a few things to stay active. It's quite nice.
Yeah, I know you feel sorry for the clubs in terms of, especially the players and trying to keep the players active and occupied. I mean, the guys are coming up with ideas.
Some of the clubs,
they play. They've got games evenings. They've got CrossFit. Like I said, it's a challenge. I think this year is an exceptional year. Hopefully we don't encounter a situation like we are in now. But, I must compliment the clubs as well in terms of the support that we've got given from the clubs and that there. And, everybody's taking the stance and we're all, supporting the ground zero. But, I think from the club side, again, it's a very much a challenge trying to keep the guys busy, and you can't train on the fields.
Let's talk about that a little bit later. We have got the practice grid, the Cape Rugby TV grid that we put out for you guys as some suggestions, and clubs are taking all sorts of opportunities there, from painting venues and facilities to community walks to jogging and yoga and CrossFit and everything. Lyndon Julius, let me turn my attention now to you, the father of newly born twins. First of all, let me congratulate you on that.
Thanks.
Yeah, well done.
Thanks, Faisal. Thank you.
As Faisal said,
15,002 registered players now.
We have 2 more rugby players. Both boys.
Both boys, yes.
Both boys. Not that would matter, Faisal, because you've got women's rugby as well.
I was going to say now, we do promote both sexes on the code, so thanks a lot.
Not sure who they registered under. St. George's.
We don't know. We'll see.
Lulu boys?
Lulu boys?
They're definitely Lulu boys, but I think they first are Squirrels, because that's where the primary school where the dad comes from. So I think it's first there. But definitely it'll be Lulu boys. If
so Janine will be happy to have them.
Of course, Janine will be happy to have them on board. I think everyone.
Congratulations, and of course to Kim, your lovely wife, Kim. Congratulations to you guys. I know that it's a challenge.
It's a long road, a long journey, but we'll take it day by day.
Double trouble. Two new Cape Rugby TV presenters. Let's take a look at the rugby there. It was a really just a fun game. Even more, not even a proper prep friendly, just an opportunity for 2 clubs to come together and have a bit of a run. But it looked like both clubs certainly keen to run.
Yeah, I think also, just for a player to just wear or just pull his club's jersey over his shoulder on a Saturday afternoon, sort of at this time of the year, it would have been a norm. But now it's not anymore the case where you find you have CrossFit or you have a club adjust or a domino tournament happening somewhere. But now you're actually playing in your club's jersey. You have the feel of the locker room. You have the feel of playing against an opponent. Sort of getting that feel for a friendly match. I think that is very important also to sort of dabble in that and just dip the foot in there just to feel. At the end of the day, this match was very much a fun game.
There is something about pulling a jersey on it.
Just that smelling that deep heat and smelling that steak
that I've always noticed was that kind of that stuck with me over the years was walking with your togs
on the cement.
On the cement.
That sound,
that sound and that feeling of on hard cement. You're kind of walking a little bit more gingerly.
Yeah.
There's something special about that. When you're sitting in the locker room, there's that smell. You've got your jerseys and you're kind of rumbling for your size, whatever it might be. But for me, it was always about the togs, the feeling of the togs.
It is that, and also as you walk out, your second and third team are just finishing up. You're singing you're doing your pre-match rituals. You're singing, you're saying your prayer, you're making your dua, whatever it is that you as a club or as a team is doing. Just getting that feeling for it, and irrespective of the nature of the game or of the scoreline or whatever the motivation of the game is, that sort of feeling and that sacred locker room ritual, I think that is what clubs need to sort of are moving towards. And as a coach, it's very important because that is your sanctum, like keeps you as a coach very intact with your team.
And the other component to that nostalgic memory that comes to me is after the match.
Yeah.
After the match, when you're now sitting down and you've
And that smell of DP is gone. There's a different smell in there.
Yes, that front footer, but no, then you're taking the strapping off and you're kind of rolling it a bundle and you throw it on the floor and
knocking your
there's
boots.
that sweat running down and maybe having a drink. It's Faisal, there's a lot more than the 80 minutes. Huh?
No, definitely. I think, it's getting back to that routine that you have on a Saturday. I think it also boils down not to on the field, but also the build up to it. The Friday routine before a game, on the Saturday, the warm ups or your top up meals and stuff, and then getting to the thing. I think if you know some of the clubs, it's not only the players, it's also the spectators.
Yeah.
They have their routine.
Yeah.
Saturday morning breakfast from they pick up the buddies and they're on their way to the field.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is a lot of these guys are, especially now at this moment, lost. Not sure what to do on a Saturday and that day. So
Well, the guys are screaming for activity, but I think one of the nice things that we're seeing now is that the clubs are coming together. The camaraderie is there. The guys are still interacting. We're seeing more social media than before, ironically. But anyway, let's take a look at the second half of the Durbel Kelsriver friendly there. And I must just say to Grant Albertine and Jean Demant from both Kelsriver and Durbel, well done, guys. Well done for persevering and making sure that your players have an opportunity to play. Let's take a look at the second half.
Baie opwindend. Net gelukkig om op 'n rugbyveld te kan staan hierdie tyd van die jaar. So enige rugby is wonderlik die tyd van die jaar. Ja, baie oor 50 km se travel is, dan so baie naby mekaar. 4 manne. Hoopelik kan ons volgende week weer speel.
Right, for those of you that watched the sevens over the weekend, I think you maybe just watched some sevens action here. Now the prop from Durbel, number 1, and Faisal Felton's arguing with me that number 1 is not a prop.
In this case, I don't think it's a prop.
Well, he's got a number 1 jersey on.
Yep.
So you think, listen, either
A
way,
lot has changed since I played.
a fair amount of sidestepping there.
Yeah, definitely.
But Faisal, you played in the front row, and I mean, you didn't look like them. I think you changed the game for most props, and I think that's where that's coming in now. I think Faisal changed the shape and size of a prop when he used to run out for primrose. Yeah. So I mean, he was like, is that a prop? No, it's Faisal. Oh no, it is a prop. Yeah.
Yes,
and then just see Faisal playing for 80 minutes, and he's coming against the best guys in club rugby in the union.
I still have a primrose jersey.
Yeah.
I am very proud of my primrose jersey that was supported by, I think, Boland Market or Food Lovers Market or something. On the side there was a sponsor.
Sure, wasn't it Nisa's or
no, it wasn't a
Nisa.
no, it wasn't a Nisa.
That's probably Nisa's, yeah.
We're going to take an ad break in a sec, but remember, when I come back during the course of the show, you're going to have an opportunity to win yourself a whole bunch of goodies from the Hisense phone. We'll be announcing that winner. Case of Score energy drinks coming up later, and tonight I'm going to give you an opportunity to win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the DHL Stormers take on the Auckland Blues at Newlands. Kickoff is 3 o'clock this weekend. And the interesting thing there is that the Blues, of course, have the last 2 games. Well, the Stormers have won the last 2 games at Newlands, so they're looking for back-to-back. But they lost to the Stormers last year, 30-22. So the Stormers are going to be looking to put on another hiding on the Blues this coming weekend. I'm giving away 10 sets of double tickets, 33090. The key word is DHL Stormers. That comes up a little bit later in the show. Back in a sec, and we'll be speaking to the captains and coaches from Kells River and Durban. Welcome back, everybody. Nearly fell asleep there, but it's Cape Rugby TV. It's Wednesday night, and we bring you the very best of what's happening in the world of club rugby. Right, let's catch up now. As you were watching earlier on the highlights between the match of Kells River and Durban, having just a friendly get-together to play a bit of rugby, smell the deep heat, and put on the togs and shake hands, and maybe have a little bit of a cold one after the game. Let's catch up now with Kells River's Captain Carlisle Castle.
Yeah, I think today, I mean, we played against a team that's in the Super A. So definitely competition-wise, it was there. But where I want to congratulate my boys on or thank them is we never gave up. They came at us hard. They in terms of conditioning, they are way better than us. But I mean, we came at them on the whole time. So I'm very proud of the boys' performance today. Okay, the scoreboard doesn't affect it, but I mean, it's a friendly at the end of the day, you know. So I'm very proud of the gents. I think that's where character comes in. Sometimes if you test yourself against the best, it brings out the best out of yourself. So by us playing against a team like this of exceptional talent, I mean, it brought out some talent from our side also. I mean, we had a 42-year-old man who played 40 minutes, and that generally doesn't always happen with us. So they tested us, we tested them, we were in their face, they were in our faces. So going up against the best is sometimes what you need to enable your strengths to come out at the end of the day. Yeah, I think like I said, with regards to friendlies, it brings out the crowd much more. Because I mean, you know, guys get despondent coming to the field and looking how it looks, and then we expected to train. But that's why I said that's where the mind shift comes in again. Like today, we had exceptional numbers, whereas at training we don't always have it. But Thursday nights, then the numbers come because I mean they want to play. But the friendlies for now I think is basically what the Western Capes need to keep our players always fit, conditioned, and just to keep their minds going the whole time.
Welcome back, everybody. Right, Carlisle Castle, they're just talking to us, and again emphasizing the fact that it's so important for the guys to pitch up. And I think that is the pride factor at the moment. The pride is in the players is not the pride anymore. In other words, we're getting back to what club rugby is all about. It's not pride in the points and pride in the victory. It's about the pride of whether or not the players show up. And there's the coach's new challenge. All right, so now we're testing the coaches as well. Can you put the boys on the park without the points? Can you bring the players to the field without the cash? Well, it's a whole different story now. Let's take a look now at Gerard Matroos. What he has to say is the coach of Kells River.
Kyk, by Kells River Rugby Club is alles gesond. Die manne, hulle daag op vir oefening. Ons oefen maar agter die veld, agter die veld is so 'n stukkie groenigheid, so ons oefen daarso. Ons is so plus minus 40 na 60 ouens. As jy kyk average is so 40 vir die 2 aan op 'n Dinsdag en op 'n Donderdag aan. Is 'n bietjie moeilik om die players op die veld te kry vanuit rugby uit. As 'n ou aansluit by 'n rugbyklub, dan wil hy rugby speel. Hy wil nie by 'n rugbyklub aansluit en dan word hy goed gehou soos 'n bergklim of die ouens bymekaar te hou nie. Jy kan nie die kontes van rugby uit rugby uitvat nie. Van die ouens is eintlik daar om rugby te speel. So is bietjie moeilik om die ouens op die veld te kry. Maar soos weer vandag, die manne wil die game speel en die game is rugby. So ek sê om die ouens by die veld te kry as om games te reël soos vandag die Chakkas wat ons gespeel het teen Durban. Ons het nou weer die volgende paar weke het ons games aan. Ons het 'n toertjie na Heidelberg aan die 7de April. So dis hoekom ek vir jou sê ons is 40, 50 ouens wat is op die veld. Ek gaan vir jou stryd sê ons is my grootste ding is 'n kopseer is om die ouens by die veld te kry om 'n team te bou. Ons het nou al vrede gemaak ook al om 'n team te bou vir 2019 en Kuilsrivier is gebase op family. So ons bou aan hy family etiket verstaan jy en daai vriendskapbande by die klub om die ouens te hou vir 2019.
Lovingly known by everybody in Western Province Club Rugby as Easters. You'll see them at every home ground, well, even at the away games that Kuilsrivier put on. And again, talking about the pride of getting the boys to the field. Lyndon, that's what it's about now. Yeah, can you do it without all the bells and whistles, without having a game, knowing that there's going to be a game, without knowing that there's going to be match fees, all these kind of things?
You're being pushed now. I mean, like you said earlier on, it's like what's the core of your club about, and then how are you as a coach and administrator, as an executive of the club, keeping your players there for the duration of the season? Eastus mentioned a very important thing. He said that they've made peace with the fact that they're building towards 2019. So obviously if you're building towards 2019, with the current situation in the Western Province Club Rugby, how are you going to do that? So they obviously have got a plan going to keep their players there. Carlisle mentioned a 42-year-old playing. Because you don't want to start. I
mean, Faisal's here and he can talk us more. I mean, to go to your point, Lyndon, you don't want to start worrying about registrations in February 2019 and have lost all of your contacts from 2017 and 2018. Exactly.
You want to keep it going and keep it rolling. I mean, Faisal can come in and say, like, obviously now with there's no registration not being as pressed as it used to be, it's gonna at some point it's gonna come in, like you said, in April to meet with the clubs where it's gonna come. And
so we come back to the basics: databases, newsletters, content. Exactly. Keeping in touch with the players, the old stuff that we spoke about in those media lectures, making sure you've got your
email distribution list, your WhatsApp groups, like you said, your communication, how you communicate with not only your players or your management, but also your entire club, and how you're going to do that, you know.
But I think also, Jobs, the big challenge is coming from an off season and now coming into where your pre-season and that, and now having to sort of suspend everything. And then when do you start training and when do you start sort of, getting out on the field and, practicing and that's going to be a major challenge, I think, for a lot of the clubs. As Carlisle has said, one of the big things is, when the guys know you're playing on a Saturday, they're out there on the Thursday night, you get the numbers.
But that's, of course, the challenge that club rugby has got.
Correct.
If you look at rugby, you can't say that you're a 3-month sport.
Yeah.
You've got a club facility and you should stay open. You should stay open 12 months because if I want to play squash, I can go any time of the year. If I want to go to the gym, I can go to a zone membership. I can go any time of the year. If I want to play tennis, I can go any time of the year. The club stays open.
And also to add on to that, if you have a sponsor also, the sponsor doesn't want to just get exposure for 6 or 8 months. He wants to get exposure throughout the year. So, I mean, this is the perfect opportunity for clubs to sort of get in that mindset of, I'm not just active from January, second week in Jan, till September after the 7th.
I'll never forget that back in the days of Bob Skinstad. The time that Bob Skinstad got more sponsorship and more publicity than he got at any other time of his career, and he was a golden boy at the time, was when he got injured. Because all of a sudden he was available for every single interview. He was available for photograph opportunities.
TV shows, magazines, everything.
This is where we capitalize. Because now we need to focus on content creation and thinking out the box.
Correct.
Instead of just going into our shell. In the past, you've seen many coaches do this. They go in the shell and they say, win or lose is not going to make any difference. It's just about the game.
Correct.
Running a club, being a president, a chairperson, or running about a club and being a coach is a lot more than just the game.
Yeah.
You've got, I don't know, Faisal, you
Look,
guys,
but
as the administrators of amateur sport,
It's a major challenge.
which
yeah.
is not about money,
Yeah.
it's a major challenge for you.
But I think from our side, JP, one of the big things is also from us, not just looking at drawing up fixtures.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now at present, we are engaging with the city. So the idea is to look at central venues that, where clubs have said the fields are playable, where the clubs are saying they, it's 80% that it's, in good condition. The idea is that we look at those facilities where it benefits all the clubs. So we're looking at possibility of 7s, 10s. We looked even at fun runs. We looked at trying to keep the guys busy on a week for week, because it's about, the community
So
come
we've
together.
got the grid. In fact, we've got a grid. Let's put the grid up here. We're going to put the grid up.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that you guys have been taking a look at and trying to encourage.
Trying to encourage
So
them.
well, let's take a look at the grid. I'm sure we'll get it up down there. So these are some of the options that is possible. Gym workouts at the clubs, functional training, martial arts, video sessions. Of course, Western Province can get deeply involved in things like that. Community activities, jogging, team beach. Faisal, these are just some of the options to give the club some ideas.
Yeah. We've engaging also with the Zone Fitness sponsors, Club Rugby and Athletes. So we have a meeting with them where we're trying to look also at having classes and that. We're trying to get the clubs, unfortunately, with Club Rugby and Athletes, it's also about competitiveness. So the idea is to create a bit of competition amongst the clubs and
Boot
athletes.
camps.
Some boot camps,
Yep.
CrossFit, bit of
Leonard's laughing
yoga.
at me. He thinks I'm
You and your boot camps.
Well, I believe that
But it is
at
a
the
good-
moment,
it
well,
is a
the
good-
reason that I talk about boot camps and in fact there are companies out there today that are making equipment that is where no grass is needed. So you have sport facilities today that don't need grass, and this is all about functional training. And most boot camps today operate on functional training, things like tire flipping,
Tires.
using rubber bands, using
Falsman Moulton showed us exactly how it can be done a few
Yeah.
weeks back when they had that boot camp challenge, and I think they did it in three
and this
three
is
or
not going to
four
change.
different venues.
This
Exactly.
water restriction thing is not going to
Yeah.
change. So now a club or a
the
school
time.
should be investing
Yeah.
in the alternative option.
But even if it does change, JP, I mean, you won't be poorer for the fact that you've invested into a container or some equipment or gym equipment or facility within your club that you have sort of cordoned off specifically for your boot camp activities.
Yeah, you attach it to a barbecue wall or something. Okay. Anyway, let's catch up now. In fact, we're going to take an ad break. When we come back from the break, we'll speak to Durbal's captain Carl Liebenberg, as well as Johan Kotze, is the coach of Durbal. And remember, you can win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the Stormers take on the Blues, and you can win yourself a case of Score. And we'll announce tonight's High Sense winner from the Cape Rugby TV mobile app back in a sec.
Ja, kyk, dis baie moeilik op die stadium in die Super A om nie op die velde te mag oefen nie. Ons het geleentheid gekry Durban hoor om vandag hier te speel. Ons is baie dankbaar daarvoor, maar ons het intussen net ons plan gemaak om te oefen tot wanneer die Superliga begin. So ja, dis maar altyd taaf vir eerste game, maar ek dink dit is 'n goeie fondasie om te kyk waar staan ons vir die res van die jaar. Mense kan sien die ouens het definitief gewerk in die pre-season. Dit het gewys vandag, alhoewel as jy na die score kykie, dink ek het dit goed gegaan in sekere aspekte van ons spel wat ons wil speel hierdie jaar. Daar sal altyd gedeeltes wees waar ons wil werk, maar ek dink op hierdie stadium die forwards en die backs sal gelukkig wees met die eerste game vir die jaar vandag. Nee, dit is definitief, dis 'n groot ding en ons is baie dankbaar om hierdie jaar, dink ek is ons geseënd om spelers te kry wat nie noodwendig vir die geld kom nie, maar kom om te wil rugby speel. Ons is 'n klub wat hier is om rugby te jol en ons het ons doelwitte vir die jaar en dit is altyd goed om te sien die jong ouetjies kom deur en steek hulle hande op. Ja, dis goed. Kyk, dis baie moeilik oor soos jy weet, mag ons sê op die velde oefen tans nie. Maar ons het plan gemaak om ons besig te hou maandag met CrossFit sessies. Dinsdae oefen ons op 'n plaas en dan donderdag doen ons kondisionering op 'n ander venue. Ons wil graag reg wees sodat wanneer die WP sê die liga begin, dan wil ons on top of ons game wees en ek is seker ons gaan. Ek dink die toeskouers hierdie jaar kan definitief 'n baie goeie rugby in die sin van hardloop rugby verwag. Ons gaan die ou manier van forwards wat hard vorentoe beweeg inbring, maar met die youngsters waar ek net van gepraat het, die ouens het spoed buite en ons is van plan om champagne rugby te speel. Ja, ons het nie geweet wat om te verwag nie. Ons is 'n nuwe player coach kombinasie. So dit was nou vir my net lekker om te sien hoe die ouens 'n decent outing te gee. Ons het 'n paar nice spelers. Ons is besig om te werk in 'n groot ding. Ons sien uit in die seisoen. Ja, ek dink is 'n gevestigde squad.
Baie van hierdie manne kom al lank saam, quality rugby spelers. Ja, hulle geniet dit om rugby te speel en die enigste currency is rugby. Hulle wil net daar buite wees en hulle self geniet. So eenvoudig soos dit. Ja, dit is 'n groot verandering vir my. Ek het my tyd by Brackenfell baie geniet. Daar's goeie mense by Brackenfell, goeie spelers. Ek was 5 jaar daar. Dit was op elke minuut daarvan was vir my 'n goeie ervaring. Maar daar kom 'n tyd wat ou moet aanskuif. Dit was twee verskillende geleenthede. Ek het bedank aan die een kant amptelik en iemand het my gekontak aan Durban se kant. En dis 'n voorreg. Ek wil net saam met die jong manne 'n goeie campaign aan die gang sit en ons sien baie uit daarna. Ons dink ons gaan baie kompeterend wees en ja, ons moet kyk wat die jaar vir ons inhou. Ons is hier om die nommers op te maak. Ons gaan baie kompeterend wees. Ons wil gaan vir 'n definitiewe posisie in die top 2, top 3. Ons wil kwalifiseer vir die groot kompetisies. Ons doelwitte is baie eenvoudig. Binne die volgende 2 jaar wil ons kwalifiseer om op die groot stage te speel. Ons glo ons gaan regtig kompeterend wees in die liga. Ek dink die ander spanne ons gaan kom vir hulle.
Right, welcome back everybody, it's Cape Rugby TV. Right, as we mentioned earlier on, you can win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the Stormers take on the Blues at Newlands. They've just come back from their Australasian tour. Kickoff is at at least at 3 p.m. on Saturday. 3 p.m. on Saturday. And if you want to win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the DHL Stormers take on the Blues, remember they beat them here last year, 30 points to 22. So they'll be looking to put on another win there. Another Blues had a good game against the Bulls over the weekend. No, not against the Bulls.
Lions.
Against the Lions.
And last minute win.
Last minute win. I think the Lions absolutely threw the game away.
Yeah.
Even though I think the Lions are a good side. But it just goes to show that the Blues have got a lot of...
You play till the whistle. You play till the whistle. Play till the whistle.
Yeah.
I mean,
as the Australian Sevens team should have known.
Yeah.
Playing against our team.
Yeah, they should have known. You play till the whistle.
This is your opportunity, though, if you want to win that set of double tickets. Just SMS the word DHL Stormers now to 33090. 33090. SMS the word DHL Stormers to 33090, and you can put yourself in the mix to win a set of double tickets. We're giving away 10 sets of tickets, so there's a lot of opportunity for you to go into that draw. 33090. SMS the word DHL Stormers. Winners will be contacted via phone, and you've got until about Thursday before that cut off. All right, we mentioned earlier on the Hubs program, Faisal. Let's talk a little bit about the Hubs program. You've got the, in fact, just tell us where it all started, the Hubs program, which is, of course, you mentioned earlier on the what it stands for.
Yeah. Look, yeah, Japes, the Hubs program started about 5 years ago. The program initially started when, we used to have clinics out in the schools and that there, and, when we used to visit the schools after we had these clinics, the idea is that the schools would continue with the coaching and that. So we'd always find that the schools going back, nothing happened, and so on and that there. But the big thing was that the big challenge that the schools were facing was that they didn't have enough support in that there.
All right, right, folks.
You're clowning around.
Yeah, we're clowning around. I'm just getting a little bit worried. This is live. I mean,
yes.
This is live. So you're going to have to understand. So Faisal's got this Hubs program. His microphone is right here, and I keep staring at this. He's got the Hubs program.
But it's not the first time he's done it before already.
Well, no, it's the jersey. But the jersey's got the strings, and the strings are pouring over the microphones. There we go. He's fixed it now, and I'm worried that, of course, So let's just talk to us about this. So the Hubs program, does it happen during school hours or is it after school hours?
So basically, the Hubs program is that we go into the schools, we assist and help as far as the phys ed classes are and life orientation classes are. As you know, schools are struggling. Focus is on academics. So many of the schools out in the communities don't have sports coordinators. So the idea is that we give them a coach who's not working, unemployed. The idea is that he goes into schools and we try and promote not necessarily sport, rugby, but sport as a whole, life orientation, phys ed and that there.
How many Hubs coaches have you got now? I mean, you've got grown to like more than 80 or 100 or so?
We had about 90 coaches, but the big challenge now with the schools as well is also the drought, the water restrictions and that. So in many of the schools, the facilities is a challenge and a problem in that. So we're finding it difficult. to get the kids going in that there. And, through the Hubs program, what we're finding is that, the talent is developing itself. The talent is there. The problem is the kids need to play on a regular basis. The same as club rugby. The more we play, the better we become in that.
You need game time.
You need game time. That is key in that there. So the Hubs program, we've seen it. I always said to people in the past, when we had the buses used to come, they used to wait for the kids. Nowadays, the kids wait for the buses. And this weekend past, we've got 2 sets of reserves. The guys played against Collegians.
This was, of course, at City Park on the weekend.
City Park on the weekend. The guys from Collegians, the guys from Kelly's, all of the guys that were there, the comments were great and the feedback was great. I think, the program has shown that giving a bit of attention, not only, to any club, to any school and that you will find talent in that. And I think that's a big thing. We need to be a lot more supportive in it.
90 coaches. In fact, we've got a little bit of footage here. Let's take a look at some of the action from the rugby at City Park over the weekend, where you will see some of the Hubs kids, not all of them, only some of them participating there and having an opportunity to have a run. So the kids from the Hub, Faisal, under 16s?
Under 16s, guys that's come through from primary school. Last year they played under 15s and that. They're moving through into under 16s now. Like I said, the numbers are there, JP. It's amazing, and I think it's rewarding for us to see that, for us the key thing is participation, and the numbers have shown.
Well, I must say I'm quite impressed with some of the skills there, Lyndon. I mean, there were guys going for the, holding players up and
showing daylight, going for the ball, supporting their own body weight. Guys placing the ball in the ruck, running with the ball away from the defender. The fend off, they run into the spaces. So I think that's good to see that the basic skill of rugby is being developed, and that will then ultimately sort of spill over into a more refined rugby player. I think Faisal mentioned there's a player that was spotted through the house program that has been developed and is playing now in the under 18 or will be in the under 18 Craven Week side.
Yeah,
so I mean, that's good.
Faisal, looking at this, clearly the guys are getting proper rugby coaching. It's not just half hour of PT.
Yeah, no, definitely, James. I think what's key with the program is, we know the schools are struggling. We know the schools struggle with manpower support. The idea of the program is, it's very similar to the RDP program that province will now be, we're running, and that is that we look at a number of schools in the area, and the idea is they play on a weekly basis, and then from there we take the best kids that will form our so-called Hubs program and that there. And definitely, the talent is coming through. The guys play on a week-for-week basis. They're playing in a higher division this year in the schools. Hopefully, next 2 years we'll be playing against Bishops and Rondebosch. That's, from my side, that's the goal.
Or Kales River,
or Kales River,
Whistling Wheels,
but
or Rangers,
Rangers, Georges,
we
the
played
Squirrels.
Yeah, Squirrels.
Which, I mean, if you want to play against Bishops,
look, ultimately, what I say is, look, that's unfortunately that's the best teams meant to be in province, and that they play in the A1 division. Ultimately, what we want is that the guys play against the so-called best in that. It might not necessarily be the best, but unfortunately, the way the school structures work, that is the A1 league, the premier competition.
We're just asking.
That's it. We played against the collegians the weekend.
Help us build sport. Help us build sport.
Or help us build society.
Yeah, society.
Definitely, yeah.
But it's a very nice top that you have.
Thank you very much. Yeah. It's on sale.
Is it on sale?
Yes.
Really?
To the hubs and support the hubs.
So how does one support the hubs program?
Well, look, ultimately, the thing is, there's hubs program we run in Kailicha, hubs program in Elsies River, we've got a hubs program in Athlone. Athlone has really taken off, tremendously on that there.
But you've also got some initiatives of your own at Western Province that helps you promote the hubs program. You've got some ticket giveaways, for example. Not giveaways, but you've got some specials that you've created for the club structures. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, well, what we're doing, obviously, bring support during the drought period and that there, the numbers at Newlands and that, we want, obviously to support the team, get behind the team. The idea is that, with the scholars, we have these specials running for clubs and schools where kids can pay 200 Rand for a season for a scholar ticket. I mean, that includes your test match, England, South Africa in July. Includes the Super 15 games, includes the Currie Cup games. I mean, for $200, I mean, that's a giveaway. And over and above that, we've also got specials where we're purchasing, especially for the clubs and schools, purchase a scholar ticket. For a single game, you get an adult ticket as well.
How do I go about that? How and where?
You can contact.
If I want to buy, if I'm a club now, because this is especially for the clubs you've created, this Club Rugby initiative, do I contact Faisal Felton directly or the union? Or?
Contact the union. You contact myself if you want. Drop me a mail. In terms of, I know.
Okay, let's make this a little bit easier. We're going to create a short code, 33090. If you want to get if you want someone from the union, can we get someone from the union to call?
Yes.
Or must it be the other way around?
Look, they can give us a call. Let us know the tickets. I can forward them through the application form, and they can complete it. We have circulated through to clubs and schools, but from the general public that would like tickets, they can more than welcome to contact us.
All right, okay. Folks, we're going to take an ad break. We're going to kind of work something out quickly during the ad break and maybe surprise you. But before we do that, remember, you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks. All right, Score. All you need to do is SMS the word Score to 33090. 33090, you win yourself a case of Score energy drinks this weekend, and we'll throw in a set of double tickets to go and watch the Stormers take on the Blues. Congratulations to last week's winner, Zanamvula. Boy, congratulations, Zanamvula. Somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly. So remember the word Score to 33090. This week you can win yourself a case of Score energy drinks, but you can also win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the Stormers take on the Blues at Newlands. Kick off there at 3 p.m. We'll see you after the break. Right, welcome back, folks. We've worked it out. So if you want to put yourself in a situation where Western Province will call you back, now listen to this. For 200 Rand for a scholar, you get a season ticket, and that includes the test match. Of course, South Africa against England this year. 200 Rand for a season ticket to Newlands for the scholars. That, of course, includes the test match. Just SMS the word HUBS, HUBS. SMS the word HUBS to the Cape Rugby TV short code number 33090. HUBS. All right, that's for the scholar ticket for 200 Rand, and someone from Western Province will get in touch with you. Faisal, any other offers in terms of tickets that folks can SMS to the same number?
Yeah, but I think just also to mention and catch on that there is that it is for scholars, for school-going kids and that is key, not students or guys at varsity and that there. So $200, like you said, for a full season.
Yeah, so you must be at school.
You must be at school-going, and basically, like you said, that includes if we make semi-final, final, everything is included in that.
That's unbelievable.
That works out to about $10-15 a match.
If I put on my school uniform, do I qualify?
You've got a bit of a baby face, so you might still.
Just don't smile. Just don't smile because the crow's feet is gonna give it away.
I buy it for 2 other people, like for Lyndon's twins.
Definitely you can.
But they're not at school yet.
That's fine. They get stopped at the gate and they get turned away.
Right, folks. So the rules there are simple. You need to be a scholar. You need to be at school. I think Western Province will have that dialogue with you. 33090 is the short code. Just estimate the word hubs, and Province will get in touch with you. But in addition to the scholars tickets, there's also other tickets on offer.
Yeah,
specifically for clubs.
For specifically for clubs, what we've got is that if you take 50 or more tickets, clubs are doing it as a joint amongst especially Primrose have taken 50 tickets. The idea is that they get
per game.
No, they've bought season tickets.
50 season tickets.
50 season
tickets.
Adult
tickets.
Scholar tickets.
Scholar tickets.
So what happens is they purchase 50, they then get 50 additional adult tickets for one game, not for the season.
Okay, so there's another deal.
That alone is $160 for one game.
There's another deal on the table there for you. If you buy 50 scholars tickets, Western Province Rugby will give you an additional 50 adult tickets for one game at Newlands. I think can they choose any game they want?
They can choose any game besides the semi-final and the final, or test matches, obviously. But
that's of course always off the cards. I mean, no one knows if you get a semi, you don't know if you can. So there's the offer to the hubs 33090. Just SMS the word hubs to 33090 for the clubs. Then, if you buy 50 scholars tickets, which is season ticket, then for 50 scholars, including the test match. And of course the finals and semi-finals, should we make it into that, then you get 50 tickets free for 50 adults to any of the games excluding the finals and semi-finals. Remember that short code again, 33090, and just include the word hubs, and someone from Western Province will call you back. We went to check out the match between Brackenfell and Evergreens the week before last. We did promise that we would show those highlights. Let's take a look at the highlights, and when we come back after the break, we'll talk about what's happening in the world of Super Brew, and of course the other activity in the world of rugby. Right, welcome back, everybody. Of course, you know the big thing that is happening this week is the Stormers are taking on the Blues at Newlands. We managed to speak to Dylan Lades, Springbok player, DHL Stormers player, and they are all ready for the match at Newlands, kickoff at 3 p.m. Let's catch up with Dylan Lades now, also a darling of Cape Rugby TV.
Yeah, obviously coming back after New Zealand, we're really looking forward to be back at Newlands again. Obviously, we know the faithful will be coming out to support us tonight. Hopefully, the weather can hold up Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock kickoff. So we hope that the faithful come out in their numbers and their blue and white jerseys to support us. Obviously, the guys are as excited as them to be back at Newlands this weekend. Yeah, obviously, when you're running out the tunnel and you see those blue and white flags and the Stormers jersey in the stands, it really is an extra motivator for us to go out and perform, for our fans. Obviously, results haven't gone our way lately, but there's a lot of positive things and a couple of work on. So we're really looking forward to be back at home, and it's that, like I said, that extra motivator, being back in front of your fans, your friends, your family. So hopefully we can see some people coming out to Newlands this weekend. Yeah, obviously, club rugby is a big thing, here in the Western Province, and obviously, unfortunately, too, the water restrictions, they haven't been allowed to go out and showcase their talent as yet. But there's a lot of guys who represented clubs who have come through the system, So it's also great, for them being involved in Western Province and Stormers rugby, and hopefully we can have a couple more of those guys coming through and putting their hands up. I know there's definitely a lot of talent in Cape Club Rugby, so hopefully we'll see some of them have a good year, and then you never know, you might find one or two of them at a Stormers pre-season come the end of the season.
Right, folks, and just a reminder again, 33090 if you want to win yourself a set of double tickets to go and watch the DHL Stormers take on the Blues at Newlands. It's going to be happening this weekend. Okay, we've got about 30 seconds left of the show. Super Brew is currently running, for those of you that are part of the Super Brew pool. My Super Brew predictions certainly have been nothing but an absolute disaster. But it's been great fun giving it a go. And as much as I'm watching the rugby and I'm feeling tense about games, I'm getting more tense about my scores. So Super Brew is a lot of fun. Let's take a look at our top 10 in the Super Brew pool at the moment. Our Jorgron is sitting at number 1 in our Super Brew pool at the moment. Manasi Kat, Chris Lemack, JC, Orion, Salas, Mr. Bean, Doodles, Buckies, and Chupi. Those are your Super Brew top 10. We always get the best names out of the Super Brew guys. All right, then, Lynn and Julius, let's ask you quickly then. Save SA Sport, have you bought your togs yet?
I have. I've pre-ordered 2 of them. So it's 2, and then I've pre-ordered my one as well. So I'll keep mine until they can grow into theirs, and then we'll take on. I'll retire out of club rugby with them.
Mini shoes
now,
for
small ones.
Little mini shoes. SaveSAsport.com, folks, is where you can buy all your apparel. You get a 20% discount off SaveSAsport.com on all your products there, such as Puma, Mizuno, Canterbury, and New Balance, and Asics. And all you need to do is use the coupon code Cape Rugby TV. A free delivery anywhere in South Africa for any purchases above 750 Rand. So you can buy your rugby boots, your footwear, or your apparel. SaveSAsport.com. But that's a wrap from us here at Cape Rugby TV, folks. We will see you, of course, at Newlands on Saturday at 3 p.m. Lynn and Julius, best of luck with the family.
Thank you very much, and enjoy. Have a good rugby weekend.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Faisal Felton, if we don't see you on Saturday, but I'm sure we will see you on Saturday, then we wish you the very best of happy birthdays.
Yeah.
Thank you, JP.
Let's hope the Stormers can bring 5 points home for Faisal in the birthday cake.
It's going to be a big party Saturday.
Okay, yeah.
You guys are all welcome.
We're coming to Faisal's party.
To Newlands. Everyone's going to Newlands.
Everybody outside.
Cover charge.
Clubs.
Yeah.
Tickets are available. They can contact me. Come and join the big party.
Come to Faisal's party.
Faisal's party. There'll be a little rugby match on the side, but Faisal's party will be there.
Will be happening.
Little rugby match.
Welcome to Cape.
The Juvie boys. Yeah.
Alright, folks, that's a wrap from us here at Cape Rugby TV. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place, same field. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.